Going on, Cavaliers fans? This is Wine and Gold Unger coming at you with another Cavaliers game preview. Just like the last game preview when I previewed two games, this is going to be the same kind of thing. Because it's another home and home series featuring the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Milwaukee Bucks. The home and home series starts tomorrow in Milwaukee and then Wednesday in Cleveland. The game on Wednesday will be a little bit more special because Matthew Dellavedova will be receiving his Cavaliers NBA championship ring. But tomorrow night is in Milwaukee. The last time the Cavaliers were in Milwaukee, they lost. I don't remember the exact score. Who won the Cavaliers-Bucks game in Milwaukee?
The Cavaliers.
I believe it was 118-101. I think. Something like that. Anyway, Milwaukee really took it to the Cavs that night. Giannis Antetokounmpo, yeah, there's a reason he's called the Greek Freak. It's because, well, he's really good. Milwaukee also just recently played a home and home series against the Chicago Bulls. Against the Bulls in Milwaukee, Giannis Antetokounmpo had 30 points, while the other young buck, no pun intended, Jabari Parker had 28. So they are quite the tandem in Milwaukee. I do think the Bucks are going to be a good team soon. Not yet. I wish Dellavedova was still with the Cavaliers. I do. Because in Milwaukee, he's the starting point guard. And I don't think his skill set is really made for a starting point guard position. And he showed that a little bit in the 2015 NBA Finals when Kyrie Irving went down and then he had to step in. He was, able to stop Curry for a couple games and then Stephen Curry went off on him. Granted, you can't keep Stephen Curry down for a while, forever, because, Curry's just amazing, and he'll just go off on you. But, Dellavedova is more of a defensive-minded player, and he's a decent point guard. I'm not trying to take anything away from him. But at the same time, I just don't see him as a starting point guard. I see him as a backcourt. I think if Milwaukee wants to keep going in the right direction, they need to find a good, solid starting point guard to run with their guys like Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jabari Parker. Meanwhile, for the Cavs, they're coming off a tough win against the Lakers, which is a little bit surprising because Lakers are banged up with injuries. But they showed that even though the Clippers seem to be the top LA team recently, the Lakers are on their way back. It was very, 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 I think I put enough varies in there. It was very strange to see the Lakers play without Kobe Bryant. And that's not because Kobe Bryant is injured or anything like that. It's because Kobe Bryant retired last season. But it was still very strange. But congrats to him on a fantastic, and I mean truly fantastic career. Truly fantastic. I have no words for him to describe how amazing of a career he had. But anyway, getting back to Cavaliers versus Bucks. This is a Central Division matchup between these two teams. With the Bucks, as I said, taking the first game in Milwaukee, which is where the first game will be of this back home and home series on Tuesday, December 20th, 2016. And the Bucks seem to play better at home than they do on the road. However, in their home and home series against Chicago, they swept the home and home series, taking the game in Milwaukee and in Chicago. So that could help them a little bit in their upcoming home and home series against the Cavaliers, who are going to be fully rested. But Kevin Love is not expected to play in Milwaukee due to a sore back. So, and he's a key piece. And I understand that, Kyrie, Kevin Love, and LeBron are all called the Big Three. But the Cavs are more than just them. But as our game against the Memphis Grizzlies showed, the three of them need to be out on the court for us to have a legitimate chance at winning. Otherwise, the Cavs could be in serious trouble. And that's just the way it is. But I expect this to be a very competitive game between these two teams tomorrow night. It usually is. Giannis Antetokounmpo, though, I have no words to describe him. He has the nickname of the alphabet or the Greek freak. I like that nickname better because he's a freak of nature. I would say he's Milwaukee's point forward, meaning he's Milwaukee's point guard, but as a small forward. Again, that's not to take anything away from Matthew Dellavedova, because I think Dellavedova is a fantastic player. But I just think his skill set does not match a starting point guard. I think his skill set matches a sixth man type thing. Like a guy coming off the bench. I'm not trying to say like Dellavedova is a horrible NBA player by any extent. I'm not trying to say that. For those of you who think he is, I'm sorry. But I think he's a much more defensive-minded player. But the Cavs suffered an injury the other day. It was Chris Anderson, also known as the Birdman. He suffered a torn ACL in practice. Now, he didn't get a lot of playing time during the season. But the problem with the injury is that now the Cavs only have a couple healthy big men. Tristan Thompson, Kevin Love, and I don't remember the third one off the top of my head. Sorry, I had to fix my socks super quick. But anyway, so I don't know if that'll affect the Cavs in these two particular games, but I do think it could hurt them down the road. Is there a particular team it could hurt them, in which that could hurt them? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know for sure. We'll have to wait and see. But the Cavs need to find a true point guard. Sorry. A true backup point guard. Did not mean to originally say a starting true point guard. Because although I think Kyrie is more of a scoring guard first. So I wouldn't really say the Cavs have a true point guard right now. But right now, that doesn't seem to be affecting them too much. Could it affect them perhaps in the playoffs? Maybe. You know, it's if the other guys can step up, like JR, he goes, J.R. Smith in particular, it seems like with him, he goes through stretches where it'll be fantastic scoring, where he'll sometimes get, 17 points, like 17 points in a game, or 22 points in a game, and then he'll go through stretches where it's like 4, 6, 2, okay, not 2, but like 10. Okay, maybe I'm being a little under-exaggerating it, if that's a thing. I don't know for sure. But it just seems like he'll go through stretches where he'll have these really high-scoring days, and then he'll go through stretches where he has these medium to low-scoring days. But that's not to take anything away from J.R. Smith, but not by any means. That's not what I'm trying to do. All I'm simply saying is that I think in order for the Cavs to do well, to continue to find success this season, JR needs to find a little bit more consistency in terms of his scoring. And I think he needs to be a little bit better on the defensive end. Because we have other guards, such as Shumpert and DeAndre Liggins, who, as I said in the Memphis preview, if you remember, he is a good defensive player, but his offense is not good. He can't shoot a jump shot. So JR really is that main scoring shooting guard that the Cavaliers need. So I just think he needs to find a little bit more consistency. Milwaukee, I'm not sure who their starting shooting guard is. It might be Tony Snell. I don't remember off the top of my head. But I think Milwaukee has a couple good pieces in place. They have a decent bench, but they need to find guys to keep building off Giannis Antetokounmpo and Jabari Parker, because those two guys can't be the only ones carrying the Bucks if by chance they get to the playoffs, which I think the Bucks could potentially get to the playoffs. But Milwaukee needs to try and find other options, whether that's through trades or, a free agency signing. They need to find a third option, because what if Jabari Parker is injured, or Giannis Antetokounmpo and Parker are both not having great scoring games? Who's going to be that other guy to pick up the slack for Milwaukee and put them in a position to win? I don't know if they've found that yet. So that's an important thing Milwaukee needs. Do I think Milwaukee would be at the level of, Golden State or San Antonio or like Toronto? Maybe not Toronto yet. But do I think Milwaukee is an elite team yet? No. But I don't think they're a terrible team. But do I think they're an a threat to make the NBA Finals? Not yet. Not yet. Maybe if they need to find a good, solid starting point guard, a decent center, and a good, solid shooting guard. Because I think they have a decent enough bench. Enough to make the NBA Finals. Again, not yet. But they're getting there. They're getting there, for sure. They are. I expect tomorrow night to be a competitive game. And I think these two teams will split this upcoming home-and-home series. I do think Milwaukee will win the game in Milwaukee. But the Cavaliers will come back and win in Cleveland. So it should be a very competitive game. I'm not going to try and give a score prediction because, well, I've been wrong the last couple times I've done that, so I'm not going to do that. However, as I said, I think Milwaukee wins in Cleveland. Sorry. I have that reversed. I think Milwaukee wins in Milwaukee at the Bradley Center, BMO Harris Bradley Center, but I think Milwaukee is building a new arena, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Yes. The Bucks are building a new arena. I want to check something super quick. Milwaukee Bucks starting lineup. Let's see. Yeah, usually they have Chris Middleton as their shooting guard. But I believe he's injured right now. So it might be Rashad Vaughn. I don't know. Greg Monroe, I don't think is their starting center. I think it might be John Henson who's their starting center as well. Malcolm Brogdon is also a good, solid... Malcolm Brogdon is also a good, solid backup point guard for Milwaukee. And I think he's a little bit better. Maybe Jason Kidd, head coach of the Bucks, should consider starting him at point guard instead of Dellavedova. Because I was watching a little bit of the Bucks Bulls game in Milwaukee the other night because it was on TNT. That was the first time the Bucks had been on TNT in Milwaukee since, I believe, 2002. But I was watching, and I think Brogdon was running the offense a little bit better for Milwaukee. But again, I think they need to find a true starting point guard, because that's one thing that Milwaukee is for sure missing. Because they don't have that right now. NBA.com. Looking up a couple stats. By the way, Tim Duncan's jersey was retired by San Antonio last night. NBA.com/Bucks. Congrats to Tim Duncan on having his jersey retired by San Antonio, as he very much deserved it. He very much deserved it. Team leaders. Yeah, Giannis Antetokounmpo is the team leader in points per game with 22.6. He's also the leader in rebounds per game with 9.1. And he leads Milwaukee in 52.4% field goal percentage. Free throw percentage, Malcolm Brogdon leads the Bucks with 89.7%. And then Giannis Antetokounmpo gets about 6 assists per game, so he's the assist per game leader. Thon Maker leads the Bucks in field goal percentage from 3-point land with 50%, and Giannis Antetokounmpo leads the Bucks in everything else. So you can see that the Bucks are truly led by the Cavaliers. Are led by Giannis Antetokounmpo. On the Cavaliers side of things, LeBron James leads the Cavaliers in scoring with 25 points per game. Kevin Love leads the team in rebounds with 10.7 rebounds per game. Field goal percentage, James Jones 65.4%. Free throw percentage, Channing Frye 94.1%. Assists per game, LeBron James 9. 3-point field goal percentage, James Jones 73.7%. Steals per game, 1.4, LeBron James. Blocks per game, Tristan Thompson. Yes. So, you can see it's mostly dominated by LeBron and Giannis Antetokounmpo, who I think should be an NBA All-Star this season. I think it would be very silly of All-Star voters to leave him out, because I think he is the top Milwaukee Buck. No pun intended. But I expect this to be a very competitive game. So, you will not get a game preview tomorrow, as it is a home-and-home series between these two teams. So, the next game preview will be Cavaliers schedule.
Looking for the Cavaliers.
Cleveland Cavaliers schedule.
Looking for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
So, their next, they play the Bucks on Tuesday in Milwaukee, Wednesday in Cleveland, and then they play the Brooklyn Nets on Friday. So, the next game preview will be Thursday, December 22nd, to preview Nets at Cavaliers, as well as a Milwaukee Bucks post-game show. Until then, this is Wine and Gold Unger signing off.